Hi there, this is Rich Groff, your sales conversion specialist, coming to you from Long Beach, California, and I'm standing in the Hyatt Regency where I've just stepped out a few minutes ago and I've done a few videos. I'm just doing another one on sales conversion, my favorite topic. And today I want to talk to you about one of those fundamental steps of starting off on the right foot, and it's called your sales process. If you're in real estate, this is really important that you understand what your sales process is. And here's the thing. If you don't know what your sales process is, chances are you're winging it. And that's not so bad, except for the fact that you have no control over the amount of results that you're getting. And you know what? I know you guys work hard, because I was a realtor at one point in my life. Got to tell you, and I coached hundreds of them, realtors, and you guys work hard. So you know what? Let's make it worthwhile for you. So let me explain a few things for you. The first thing you need to understand about your sales process is you need to have one. Now, if you've been in business a little while, you probably know that through trial or error, you've come up with something that works for you so you can get clients to work with you. Whether you're talking to them at the buyer stage or whether you're talking to them as a seller, you are finding people that want to do some business, and you're getting them to the place where they're working with you. What you want to know is that there's some sales processes that don't serve you as well as others. So I'm going to cover some of the highlights of a sales process that you should consider no matter whether you're working for buyers or sellers. The first thing that you got to know is that your sales process starts with a discovery. Not everyone you talk to is going to be what I would call an ideal client. And you have to understand that if you're not working with an ideal client, or it's not their ideal time to work with you, that you have to help them get to the place where they can work with you, or give them to someone else, or let them walk away. I hear from time to time that there's a lot of tire kickers in the industry when it comes to real estate. And really what that means is that people aren't clarified yet about what they're doing when it comes to real estate. It doesn't mean they're actually out there, trying to waste your time if they're showing up at an open house or if they're making a phone call. Sometimes they have other motives. But I'm talking about the people that actually do have a real estate agenda, but it's so soft and fuzzy that they need some help getting clarified. So you got to know that that's really important to you. So how do we do that? Well, when you're in your discovery session, you got to think to yourself, what questions can I ask that are going to help me find out whether this is a real estate suspect, a real estate prospect, or somebody is really not even entertaining real estate and has no agenda whatsoever. Those three are really critical for you to understand. Now, what's a suspect? Suspects are somebody that you've kind of talked to and they seem like they might be ready to do something, but you're not really sure. They need a little bit more nurturing. And in the buying cycle, when I teach this, I'm teaching it in my Unstoppable Sales Conversion System. There's 7 steps. And so they're probably coming in at a 1 or a 2 for you to start talking to them. They're not ready to start getting right into showing homes to. They're not ready to maybe list their home. They're just collecting some information, steps 1, 2, and 3. They're right at the very beginning, and they need to be nurtured all the way through the process. Your job is to hang on to them while they're going through the process. Otherwise, you'll lose them, and you'll have done some great work for somebody else, but it's not going to actually help you with your income, and that's just not worth it. If you're going to work, make sure you get the pay. So when you're in your discovery, think of the questions that you can ask that are going to help clarify whether they're suspect, prospect, or whether they're not even interested. Now, what is a prospect? Well, a prospect is somebody who really does have an agenda. They have a reason for wanting to move, and they're probably thinking about it quite seriously. They're a little bit farther in the buying cycle. That's really important to know. So they're not at a 1, 2, 3, they're probably at a 3, 4, and 5. And so they need a ton more information. Those particular prospects are at various different stages, need a lot more information. They need help with the understanding of the emotions. They got to get comfortable with the idea of making the move, and they can go, take a long time, or they can actually snap and decide to purchase rather quickly based on how well you help them. So your process has to be able to help them with a series of questions that are actually going to get them where they need to go. So questions like, when are you planning to move? Why would it be important? What would cause you to move even faster? What's your main objective in this move? All of those are wonderful questions, and you can provide those for your client. So now, what about the prospect that comes to you? You're not really sure where they are. How do you really find out what's going on in their mind? If you can start to go through and they're asking a lot of information, they're looking to try and get some information about, how much their house is worth and how much, the marketplace of where they're going. They're at the information stage. Chances are they haven't shifted to emotion yet. So you got to know that that's where they're at. They're at information stage. When you start to sense that, we got to get moved in September because the kids got to be, before September so the kids can be in school, it's got an emotional tone to it. Now they're a little bit farther in the process. Your job is to understand that means that they're getting closer to buying. You surely don't want to let them wander around the marketplace by themselves, unprotected, and open up themselves in an open house saying, hey, I think this is a nice home, because the other agent's going to turn around and say, great, I can sell it to you. And if they don't, well, then they need to talk to me, so please send them my card. Just joking. So here's the thing, if it's information step, that's before they start shifting into emotion. So if you start hearing emotional clues, you got to know they're getting closer and closer to buying, and that could happen rather quickly. That's why people go to open houses, they get emotionally entrapped into it, and they make the decision to purchase like that fast. And they get wrapped up into it, and once their emotions are there, it's too late, they can't change their mind. And it's not a logical process at that moment. And we all know that. We've all had a client or two that have been lost at an open house because we weren't there with them. So you got to know that that's how you're going to find out whether they're a prospect. So how do I know so much about all this? Well, I got to tell you, I've been in sales forever and a day, and at the bottom end of whatever I do, I try and take a look at how hard I've worked and what I kind of produce. In real estate, it's no different. If you have 10 ideal clients that you're working with, 10 ideal buyers, and only 2 of them get to the place where they purchase from you, that means that out of 10, you've got 2, so you got 20% of the people that are actually working. It's called sales conversion. Most people that start with me have a 3 or 4, maybe even as high as 5 out of 10 that'll actually be able to convert of an ideal client in real estate. And what I do with that is I turn around and teach them the secret tips, the 21 secret tips that I actually disclose in my unique selling proposition called the Unstoppable Sales Conversion System. And I teach people what they need to do to get it up to 7, 8, and 9 out of 10. Because the people in your office that are at the top of the, what I call food chain, the people that are doing exceptionally well will get 9 out of 10 almost all the time, and they can produce a result faster. And that's exciting because that means they're more efficient. They're making more dollars per hour, less stress, less concern, and it's really wonderful for you to have that in your life. So please take a look at the link below. It's called the Unstoppable Sales Conversion System. And if you've got any questions, I'd love to have them in the comments. This is Rich Groff coming to you from Long Beach, California, and I'm in the Hyatt Regency, and I'm overlooking as the sun goes down. It's an awesome view. I look forward to seeing you folks later.